Hi, everyone. Today in writing, we're going to be talking about figurative language, and we're going to talk about two kinds of figurative language in particular, similes and metaphors. And our goal for the end of this lesson is to be able to write a simile or metaphor and incorporate that into our writing. So I have a book here called Skin Like Milk, Hair of Silk, What are Similes and Metaphors, that's going to help us identify similes and metaphors and give us some examples that we can use as practice. All right, so this book is by Brian P. Cleary and it's illustrated by Brian Gable. Similes are phrases that compare two unlike things, as in, her hair is soft as silk. So we're comparing her hair to a fabric and they are not similar. Or teachers eat like kings. Now, teachers and kings are getting compared and they are not similar either. Just like these, all similes contain an as or a like. So when you write a simile, it has to have the word as or like in it. All right. And here's just one example. She's as sharp as any spike. So this is a simile because it's has the word as in it, and it's comparing a girl to a spike. And this doesn't mean that she's like pointy, right? This means that she could either be sharp, like she's smart, or depending on the context, it could be she's mean too. So we'd have to know more about what's happening in the story. So here's some more examples. Smooth as jazz. All right. So here it has the word as in it. So we know that this is going to be a simile. All right. And it's comparing smooth and jazz. All right. And it actually means that it's flirty. And down here we have more. Skin like milk. And now we're talking about this cat over here who has very pale skin, right? So, or pale fur. So she's pale like milk. And cheeks as red as roses. So in here we have as, right? This one had like. And they're comparing the cheeks to roses. And we can tell that she's blushing. Similes compare things. Like my dad's old as Moses. So we know that the dad and Moses are both old, right? And his dad is probably not the same age as Moses. He's probably younger. Similes can help you say that someone in your class is as bright as polished pennies. So we're comparing someone like, right, this person to polished pennies. And we're saying they're both bright, which means in this case, not that they're shiny, but that they're smart. Or we can compare them as slow as thick molasses. Molasses is like a type of syrup or sap, and it's really thick and it moves really slowly. So they're comparing a person's movement to how molasses moves and saying that they're both slow. They're helpful in describing people, things, and even places, like fresh as folded laundry. So now we're describing people, all right? Obviously, this person is not laundry, right? That's the laundry. This is a person. But when they're saying they're fresh, like the laundry, right? This is all folded and nice and probably just came out of the dryer, right? So it's fresh. They're saying this person is fresh too because they just woke up. Or all jagged like my braces. So this uses like to describe the mountains and this person's braces. All right. They help you paint a picture you can see inside your brain. And this is really important for our writing. One of our big goals in the unit is to use descriptive language in our writing. And a really good way to help you paint a picture for your reader is by using figurative language. So here's some more examples, like he's clever as a fox. So we're using as again, and they're comparing the person to a fox and saying that they're clever. Or her tears ran like rain. So here we're using like, and her tears ran like rain. So we know that she's crying a lot because when it rains, it doesn't just rain a little, it usually rains a lot. Right? And there's the rain in the picture. Once you learn about them, they can change your writing habits, and that's what we want. You'll write 1, 2, and then a few. They'll multiply like rabbits. Now we're going to talk about metaphors. And metaphors are similar to similes, but yet they don't use like or as. So we have two statues here. This is the simile statue, and you can see he's holding the like or as. And this is the metaphor statue, and he's not holding anything. So they don't use like or as, but they both still compare things. All right, so let's look. Metaphors will often use is or has or are, as in you are my sunshine. Now that doesn't mean that you're a sun in the sky and you give off light. When you're someone's sunshine, that means that you make them feel warm, all right, or happy. Or this singer is a star. This singer is not a star in the sky. All right. So he's not actually a star, but we know that if we say someone is a star, that means that they are famous or very talented. All right. So he's so sour. She's so sweet. If we're talking about someone being sweet or sour, that doesn't mean we don't go around like licking people and tasting them. That's not normal, right? We don't do that. So what we are talking about is their personality, all right? If they're nice or if they're maybe not so nice, if they're sour. His memory is foggy. So when we're talking about someone's memory being foggy, we don't mean that they're like have clouds inside their brain, right? What we mean is that they might be forgetful. They don't remember something. So all of these are metaphors, just like his voice is froggy. All right. And if his voice is froggy, that doesn't mean there's a frog in his throat, right? That would never actually happen. What it means is that he has like a coarse or creaky voice. Even chill out or be cool. So when we say chill out or be cool, we do not mean that you're trying to lower your temperature. What we mean is to be calm or relax. All right. A heated conversation. So this is not a conversation where the temperature rises, right? It doesn't go from like 85 degrees to 100 degrees. That's not how conversations work. A heated conversation means an argument. An icy glare or frozen stare. So this is when you look at someone and you're really unhappy and you're just like staring them down. All right. A very warm ovation. So these people are clapping. They're very excited. They're happy. They're not hot. They're happy because they found drinks in the desert. At times, a sense of touch is at the root of such a phrase. So a lot of times we use feeling words to describe other things, right? So a velvet voice. Velvet is a fabric, which she's holding right here. So we don't mean she has a fabric voice. Velvet is really soft and smooth, so her voice must be soft and smooth, just like velvet is. A coarse reply. So in this picture, we can see that this guy with the drill, he messed up, right? He did something to this guy's pants, and that face says, He is not happy about it. So when we're talking about a coarse reply, it would be like a mean, unhappy reply to someone. All right. Down here, it says some softly spoken praise. So this person is talking to the boy who raked up the leaves, and praise means saying something nice to someone. So softly spoken, we're not talking about something feeling soft. In this case, we're talking about a whisper. So he whispered his praise. So right, get busy as a bee. So here we have as this must be a simile. Get busy as a bee. Your work is sure to blossom. So here's our is, which means this must be a metaphor. All right. With similes and metaphors, no doubt it will be awesome. So what are similes? What are metaphors? Do you know? Let's find out. We're going to do an activity on Padlet. So I'm going to send you a link, and when you click the link, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. All right. And it's going to have 3 boxes on it when you get there. And one box says simile or metaphor. All right. And then it has the directions in it. So this box right here, all right, has the directions. Put your name in the title and then write a simile or metaphor in the box. I gave 2 examples, and you can see I followed my directions. It says my name right here in the title, and then it has my simile. The boy ran as fast as a cheetah. All right, so this is a simile because it uses like or as. And then I have a metaphor example right here. All right, it says my name again. Her hair was a bird's nest when she woke up. So this one doesn't use like or as, so I know it's a metaphor. And I'm comparing her hair to a bird's nest. So we can tell that her hair must be C. All right, to add your example, what you do is click the plus sign down here in the corner. It's pink. You click the plus and it turns into a pencil. You're going to click it and add a post. When this shows up, it gives you a title. You write your name. So I want you to write, if you're Tyler, all right, put your last initial, all right? So your first name and last initial, please. All right. And then you write in this box your simile or metaphor. You do not have to do more than one. You're doing one simile or one metaphor. You're not doing 2 things. You're only writing one thing in the box, and you're only using one box. If you make a mistake, you click out of the box and it's not done, and you're like, oops, you have 2 options. You can click the pencil button to edit the post, and I'll open it back up for you. Or if you just want to start all over again, click the delete button, and then I'll pop up this little pop-up. Are you sure you want to delete this post? Yes. All right. And you can start all over from the beginning. You're going to notice some things down here at the bottom. Do not use any of these things. I don't want you to add pictures. I do not want you to add links. I don't want anything added to this except your sentence. So that's all I want. You put your name, you put your metaphor or simile, your choice, right? And I gave 2 examples, right? And then you're done. Once you've finished writing on Padlet, you're not done your classwork yet. Your job is to go into your writing classroom, click the classwork tab, and click the narrative writing prompt. It's the very first thing. You're going to open your personal narrative, and your job is to include at least 1 sentence with figurative language. So you're going to have to go back in, reread your writing, and add some figurative language. You're going to have lots of examples on the Padlet. So if you need help, just go look at the Padlet, all right? And you'll have lots of examples because your classmates will be adding them, all right? If you have any questions, I will be in the call the whole time. Come back and meet me.